What's going on, guys? Welcome back to YGOPD, your Yu-Gi-Oh! Professional Development. Really excited to be here after an amazing experience at Nats. Was a really cool experience. First chance for me to get to Nats pre-COVID and for a lot of people, as well as the first time for me going back to Nats in almost 10 years. So it was really cool to see people hang out, have a lot of fun, get some cool experience in, explore the city, all that good stuff. But I did not do too well at the main event, but what I am really excited about is the deck concept that kind of birthed out of that Nationals experience, transitioning into side events, and now back here as I'm still ironing it out. It's really amazing. I really enjoy it. It's a lot of fun. And it is just a really cool blend of a lot of different things that I might even consider running outside of just Splight or Tier Element as the meta kind of comes up because of what it can do. But this is basically exactly what you see in the title. Brave, Dragon Link, Punk, DPE. It is a insane pile deck that just does a ton of really cool things. But yeah, I won't waste too much time. I'll go ahead and give our new sub shout outs and we'll hop into it. Thank you again so much for joining the channel. If you really enjoy the content and want to stick around, please consider subbing. It really does help. Thank you so much to Kevin, Miguel, and Snai. I really appreciate you guys joining the channel. And with all that said, let's go ahead and hop straight into the deck profile. Okay, we'll go ahead and hop right into the main deck. I want to make this intro very quick just because this video, this deck profile has so much thought and evolution to it that it's going to take 2 videos. I'd really like to hit 10 likes on this video. I'd appreciate that. But either way, I'm still going to do the deck analysis and the full combo and all that stuff next week. Just because there's a few slots and choices I'm still ironing out with the deck, but I wanted to show you where it's at. And so far, based on initial testing and performance through kind of the tail end of Nats to a few locals back home, it's done really, really well. So we'll go ahead and start with the star of the show, 3 Synchro Fusionist. This is a semi-old card from Duelist Revolution. If you are unfamiliar with this card, it does a lot of things. You might have seen it floating around the Splight group, just trying to discover every single level 2 that could be abused, but I think this has a better home here. What this card does is if it is sent to the grave for a Synchro summon, you can add a fusion or polymerization from your deck to your hand. The other note thing is this guy is 600 defense, so we are able to search it with a card like Cupid Pitch. So it is not just the hard 3-of that you're just hoping to draw to make the deck work. We do it in our normal combo line. So 3 Synchro Fusionist, and of course the main guy we are searching out with this is Fusion Destiny. Yes, we are shoving DPE right back into the meta. Not much to say about this. Of course, going second, right, you could have a card like Super Poly in the main or in the side if you want. Using this guy as a way to search it. There are no restrictions on the fusion you add or anything like that. So it's just an insane body, an insane combo piece to really get you moving. And then in line with that, we obviously play the 2 DPE bricks in form of Dasher and Celestial. So we'll go ahead and take that and slide this out. If I haven't said already, this is about 52 cards, but that can kind of change, can go a little more, a little less, depending on how you want to build it. But we'll go ahead and talk through the Brave package. This is just to help insulate your plays. However, most people nowadays seem like they are blessed with Nibiru +2 hand traps, so it's not really that great either way. But again, searching Fusion Destiny to have DPE as your follow-up after you've committed to everything is still really good. This deck excels at playing through hand traps and through negates and still kind of creating a solid board. But the Brave helps both for body presence, negates, and level manipulation with cards like Destrudo, Cupid Pitch, all that good stuff, making sure that you can still combo. So 3 Water Enchantress, 3 Right, and the 1 Foolish Burial. These are our 7 ways to an Omni Negate just to help insulate our combos. And then obviously the 1 Fateful, the 1 Draco Back, and the 1 Griffin. Very standard. Still think I would play this in the deck otherwise, even if things do get hit a little bit, just because the levels, the non-tuner ability, just the flexibility engine has so much going for it. So definitely really solid there. In addition to the Brave package, what would the Brave package be without playing the Souls package alongside it? This just does so much for the deck. The draws are really great. You do so much searching before you draw anyway that it just makes the draws really incredible all the time. Souls is an extremely important piece to the deck, being a level 1 non-tuner to help synchronize with the card to make Cupid Pitch in the first place. So it really, really does a lot for the deck. Also with cards like the Brave package, Ravine, Boot Sector, all these field spells, after you've used the effect and got what you need out of them, just using playing souls to kind of refresh your hand is just really, really good. And then we're of course playing the 2 illusion to go along with the 2 souls. I've always been a fan of the 3 and 2. I think that's fine. You don't really need the 1 and 1. I personally want to see it in this deck. I want to see the level 1 non-tuner. That's why the package is a little bit bigger. But again, being able to put back DPE bricks and stuff like that, this really excels with that too. So that's for the souls package. We'll take a second and kind of talk through the rocket engine a little bit here. So we play 3 quick launch. Right here, this is pretty straightforward. This is your E-Tele for any of your rockets. This is very critical to the deck because it can get you essentially whatever you want. A non-tuner body, a tuner body. It really just fills any level piece that you need, as well as just threatens the board by your opponent thinking, oh, after all that, he still has full rocket combo. It does a lot. So, and then the monsters, we play 1 Absolouter, 1 Tracer, 1 rocket recharger. This can be cut, you don't need it, but the level 4 non-tuner does come up on occasion. But in reality, this should be the card I was borrowing for a bit. It's called Anis Rocket Dragon, the level 1. I'm not exactly sure how you say it, but it matters because it's again another level 1 non-tuner that can be searched from the deck with a card like Quick Launch. So I'll just throw a picture of that up on screen so you can see that too. You can either cut this or just add a slot and throw that in there, but either way that card is also very critical. And then we still play the 1 Rocket Synchron, again another level 1 tuner, searchable by Quick Launch, searchable by Hulk, just fills in a lot of gaps. And then of course the 1 Boot Sector launch to go with the rocket package. You know, your goal is not to do rocket combo, not to follow up with Savage. The goal is like these as a level manipulation piece and a climbing piece for your synchro plays. So it might look a little bit different in terms of ratios, but I promise you that is kind of what is needed for this variant. And then we play, of course, the 3 Chaos Space. Resolving this card just feels like an auto win. It just does so much, puts you so far ahead in the deck. And searches is basically this plus your discard, right, is a 1.5 card Romulus, which gets you to Ravine. Ravine is your Destrudo. That is another way to make your tuner to search for, you know, make it into Cupid Pitch and keep playing, or just pair it with Synchro Fusionist to go ahead and combo off. So any ways that we have in our main combo line to get a tuner along the way is very important. And then, of course, we just play the 1 black and the 1 white, and then the 1 Dragon Ravine as part of the Chaos Engine. Not much to say there. And then for the Punk Engine, we are not doing the Chaos Ruler variant, so there is no Dia Note in here just because, again, you don't want to accidentally mill a DPE piece, or if you do, you're forced to take that as opposed to something you want. It's just not great, so we're not using it for that. We're, again, using this as a way to, pair with Synchro Fusionist to help, you know, climb and get the effect resolved, or we are using it as a way to make Cupid Pitch, pairing it with one of our level 1 non-tuners and our Z Ammon being a level 3 tuner. So we're also playing triple Foxy Tune to help get to that. And then we're playing double Z Ammon. That's really all you need. You don't need more. If you wanted to switch up the Punk line and play it a little bit differently, you can, but it's definitely not needed. The second Z Ammon is truly just in here for the rare circumstance where you do really open not great. It makes all of these guaranteed 1-card starters, at least for now, to do the full Hulk line. Granted, Scythe or Dagda or any of that stuff doesn't get hit, but that's kind of your backup plan if you're not using it directly for the Cupid Pitch line. So. And then obviously, speaking of Scythe, we do play the 1 Scythe, obviously, and the 1 Snow and the 1 Destrudo. This is pretty standard. Not much to really say about these 3. Snow is cuttable. I find myself using it as the banish for Chaos Space. I find myself siding it out. This card is pretty much overkill with the boards you make. It's never really kind of came up. But, you know, we'll see as time goes on. But this card is not really that necessary, but it's still a good slot to have nonetheless. So there's those 3. And then, of course, we do play the 1 Jet. Jet is very, very crucial to this deck. Jet will stay in this deck regardless of how it gets hit because we do make some synchro plays that can actually search this as well. So that is that. And then lastly, we just play a couple hand traps in the form of double Nib and double Effect Veiler. This is, again, only 52, so if you want to bump this up, you can. I wanted to just have some experience doing the combo lines first, seeing that the most and just kind of playing that. Again, with DPE as your kind of main combo line that you're searching through and playing through boards, you don't need as many hand traps or board breakers. Of course, that will change when Splight into your element enter the fray, but for now, this is fine. But if you want to add more, you have plenty of slots to just do that for now. But again, you want to see your combo pieces, so. That is it for the main deck. I'll go ahead and talk through the extra deck, and then I'll also talk through a few different other lines you can use or slots you can change if you want to play this a little bit differently. So we'll start it off with the Link 4s. One access code and one Appaloosa. I will talk about Boral End a little bit later, but for now I'm just going to go through what I have been testing. But this is mainly your just generic going first, going second link. Ultimately, I would probably, end testing, prefer Boral End to this. I was originally running Appaloosa and Boral End, but getting both of those on the field at the same time was a little bit hard unless you're dedicating a few different slots to some other engines in the main deck. But these are kind of your two game closers for going first and for going second. For the Link 2s, it's a very standard set. One Romulus, one Dagda, one Hulk. Not much to say about that. You can build this so that Hulk is actually not necessary in the deck. You just kind of have to take more of a route of kind of like what you see in Crusadias with like Parallel Exceed and the Codebreaker line. You can definitely get away with it. So I've been testing that as kind of the backup or preemptive thought should Hulk kind of get hit in some way. But again, this is your way to tuners for Ravine. This is your Scythe Lock. This is your extender. It just does a lot for the deck. So that is it for your 2s. Onto your Link 1s, we play one Striker Dragon, one Link Karibo, and one Link Spider. Link Spider is not a necessary slot, but it does help in two fashions. One is if you get nibbed to be able to make this and continue to Link climb, because most of your stuff all call for effect monsters except for Dagda, and I guess technically Hulk should you have a tuner. But it also works if you need to get rid of the Brave token to kind of keep going. This is just kind of a pseudo-necessary evil slot, but maybe not for long. I just wanted to put it in here to be absolutely safe, just to test. But so far, these 3 have been more than fine. Again, if you want to focus more dragon heavy, same thing with Boral End, you can cut the Link Spider for a Pisty. Again, Pisty has never really come up because you're not really dragon Link climbing so much as you're using the dragons to do your synchro plays. So the one DPE, not much to be said there. Absolutely insane card. Wins games. That's why we play it. And then for the synchro package, we have a few different things here. I'll try to go in highest level to lowest level and explain them as we go. But for the first few, we have a Baron, a Shooting Riser, and a Stardust Charge Warrior. I'll start with these specifically. Aside from Baron, every other synchro you see are meant to pair with Synchro Fusionist, and I'm choosing the ones in an ideal world that will chain block Synchro Fusionist, being Chain 1 Synchro Fusionist to add Fusion Destiny, Chain Link 2 Stardust Warrior to draw a card, Chain Link 1 Synchro Fusionist to add, Chain Link 2 Shooting Riser to send. So that's kind of why these are here. These are kind of critical pieces. And then after that, you always can just use these plus something else to make Dagda, and then you still have the Dagda DPE line. Baron pairs with the next card that I'll show here. You can hard make it in general, but the way you're most commonly making it is with a card called Excel Synchron. This is a generic level 5. It has an effect that you can send a Synchron from deck to grave and then adjust its level either up or 1 by a level, either up 1 or down 1. So basically you're using this to make it a level 6 and then getting rid of your Brave token to make Baron. And then you have that Griffin as continual fodder to either Link climb or Synchro more. The other cool thing about this is if they stop your combos, right, and you Synchro into this, you can still dump the Jet, bring back the Jet, and then you still have full Hulk combo with that plus Jet Synchron. So it's really, really powerful. After that, we play the one Wonder Magician. This is basically just here for Scythe combo and technically helps chain block, again, the Synchro Fusionist. I'll go through a few other extra deck options you can do after this as well, but here mainly for the Scythe combo. And then last, of course, is just the Cupid Pitch. So Cupid Pitch is here just to get Synchro Fusionist. That's really all it is. You do 99% of your plays without ever dedicating a normal summon, so that's why Synchro Fusionist is here to abuse that piece there. So that is it for the extra deck. The side deck is still a little bit of a work in progress. I just kind of used some side deck stuff that I've done before, but I will talk about just a few other extra deck slots that you can do depending on how you want to adjust the build. One is obviously Boral End. Boral End is absolutely insane of a card. It just is a house in and of itself. Ending on still like Boral End and Appaloosa is crazy. I'm still continuing to test this. It does so much work for the deck. And then we play here one Selene is an option with cards like Souls, Valor summoning off of Halk. Again, it's just downward link arrows that can work for the Codebreaker line, and it's also kind of mid-late game cleanup as a way to climb into access code. The same can be said for Charmers. If you want to play like Light and Dark Charmer, that's something you can do as well. So there's that. And then in line with the main way you can climb to Boral End is with the Codebreaker engine. Through Berserker and Virus Swordsman. Essentially what you're doing is you're going to make something that has 3 arrows pointing down. It could be Selene, it could be Appaloosa, and then essentially you're going to go ahead and make Virus Swordsman. Its effect will then special summon the Codebreaker 0 Day from your deck. You can get rid of these 2 for the Link 3, and then this guy would bring both of those back to zones that Link Monsters points to. And then you have 3, 4, and 5. You can get rid of all of those to then make the Boral End Dragon, and typically this can be an Appaloosa. So it just depends on how you want to build your deck and your lines. Codebreaker line is a little bit powerful, but there was enough soft garnets. I wanted to focus a little more on the Synchro package first. And then in line with the same main deck monsters, you could play Triple Parallel Exceed as a way to kind of climb and keep moving. This is just kind of a nice spot. These are just kind of extra things that I've been testing. And then the last, if you're just interested in a few other synchro options, one is Boreload Savage to kind of have rockets have a little bit better follow-up. And just as a generic level 8, if you want to use the Punk Deer Note package, you can do that. Black Rose is really good. I've actually been siding this card because you can either chain block Black Rose or chain block Synchro Fusionist, whichever way you want it. You're baiting out a negate. And then if this resolves as chain link 1, they're losing their board. And then otherwise, right, they're going to be forced to negate Black Rose and guarantee your Fusion Destiny is going to resolve. So there's just a lot of utility there. And then the last couple synchros are one, Shiranui Sword Saga. This is a really weird card. All that matters is it's a level 5 that has an effect that triggers on summon. So it just chain blocks your Synchro Fusionist, which its effect would just change a monster's battle position. So you just summon it and turn to defense. The real point is just right to chain block Synchro Fusionist, and then it's obviously fodder to Link Climb after. And then the last 2 are Herald of the Arclight and Martial Metal Marcher. Herald is not really needed since Cupid Pitch in and of itself chain blocks Synchro Fusionist if you're chain blocks just in general by its effect on field to adjust its level. But if you wanted a different option, this is an Omni Negate. And same thing with Martial Metal Marcher. This is just an effect that chain blocks on summon to bring back something like Jet Synchron or whatever that you've used to summon it with. So that is it for the main, the extra, the side deck. This video is quite long. I know it owes a second video with combos, but I hope that at least this deck profile kind of gets you the feel of where this idea is going and gets you excited for the combo video that I will be putting together next week as I continue to wrap everything up. But I really appreciate you guys watching. I'm really excited to showcase this deck off. I've been really working on it a lot for the past couple weeks. I'm really happy with where it's at. So with all that said, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Later.